Hello everyone and welcome to this week's behind the scenes devlog video, and this week I'm going to be adding a new rabbit entity into Equilinox. So it might be a little bit of a short one this week. The animation tutorial from last week took a bit longer than expected and I just finished that at about 10 o'clock yesterday evening, and I'm also going to Wolfsburg this weekend and I'm leaving on Friday evening, so I've only got about 3 days this week to get everything done, so I'm going to get started straight away. And the first thing that I'm going to be doing today is creating the model for the rabbit. It is coming up to 12 o'clock now, and I've just spent pretty much all morning today just creating this model for the rabbit and for the younger version of the rabbit. I just found it pretty hard to get this actually looking like a rabbit. It took me quite a few attempts before I finished with this design, which I'm fairly happy with. I think you can just about tell that that's a rabbit now. So I'm going to create the icon now, and then I will add it into the game. As you can see, I've just added the rabbit into the game, and it's a bit giant at the moment, but that is easily fixed. And I have also just created the icon for it. Getting back to work after lunch now, and I've just been having a look at some videos of some very cute rabbits running around just to study their movement a little bit so that I can plan out how exactly I'm going to implement this bunny-like movement into Equilinox. So I've been working on the rabbit's movement for a couple of hours now, and it's all coming along nicely. I've still got quite a lot to do, so it still looks a bit like the sheep's movement at the moment, but the calculations are actually quite different. They're being calculated in a much more physically accurate way. You might be able to tell the difference when he's going up the hill. It looks a bit more realistic than when the sheep go up hills. But yeah, I've still got quite a bit to do. So the rabbit movement is now pretty much finished. It still needs a bit of tweaking here and there to make it look a little bit more fluid, but in general it is now working as it should be, so that's good. I did have a few difficulties along the way. There were a few interesting looking bugs, but they are now all ironed out, and I am fairly happy with the results. I think after a bit more tweaking it should end up looking pretty nice. So I'm going to stop for some dinner now. Tonight I'm going to try and make a creamy coconut chicken curry. And then later this evening I'm going to make one more tree model for Equilinox. So as you can see, all the model stages for the new tree are now done, and I've also just been creating the icon for it. So in a bit I'm going to add this tree into Equilinox. To finish off this evening, I have now added that new tree into Equilinox, and I've put a few in the world here, and I'm fairly happy with it. It looks pretty nice. To start off the day today, I've been altering the palm tree model to create a new tree for Equilinox, which, as you can hopefully tell, is a banana tree, and this is obviously going to be another fruit dropping tree which produces bananas. It is 11:15 now, and I've just been adding the new banana tree into Equilinox, as you can see, and when the tree is fully grown, like these two are, they can grow bananas, as you just saw here, and then these bananas can actually fall off the tree onto the floor sometimes, and then they will be able to be eaten by animals. Next up today, I need to feed the rabbits in Equilinox because they currently don't have anything to eat, so as you can see I've been creating a new carrot plant. So this afternoon I'm working on what happens when a rabbit eats a carrot, and what I want to happen is that the rabbit goes up to the carrot, pulls it out of the ground, the carrot goes flying in the air, and then the rabbit catches it and eats it, just so that you can actually get to see the carrot at some point, because when they're growing under the ground, you know, you can't even tell it's a carrot. So as you can see, I've started work on this, but I've still got a bit to do. But first I'm going to pop to the shops because I just started making some pancakes and then I realised that I had no eggs. So I've been doing some more work on this eating animation stuff, but I've realised now that I need to make some changes to the entity system before I can really implement this properly. So at the moment it kind of works half of the time, but the rest of the time there are quite a few glitches with it. And to fix this, I really need to make some additions to the entity system. So I'll have to do that next week sometime. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, but nothing particularly exciting to show you yet. I've just been tweaking the movement a bit more and tidying up some of the eating code. And I've also just been making some little changes to the Fox model. And you might remember this from quite a while ago, because I'm going to be adding the Fox back into Equilinox fairly soon. Next up today, just been doing a little bit of work on the music system and making sure that the music settings that you have are saved when you save the world. So for example, the music volume and the sound volume. Now, when you save the worlds, they also get saved, so you won't have to change them every time. Just took a bit of a break from programming to create one final new tree model for this week, which you can see here, and I'm pretty pleased with it. It turns out quite nicely. So for the rest of the afternoon today, I'm just going to be working on editing this video, so that's probably going to be it for Equilinox work this week. Sorry again that it was a bit of a quick one, I just didn't really have a huge amount of time this week, but next week I've got a completely full free week. So I should have lots of progress to show you in next week's video. But yeah, that is going to be it for this week. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you all next time.